Here is a 2023 Buick Enclave Avenir 1SP in white forest over whisper beige ebony leather interior. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides. I'm going to explain what the 1SP is, the features you get with the Avenir, how this is so close to a Cadillac XT6 and comparable rivals like Infiniti, Acura, Lexus, and some of the Germans. In the front fascia, LED headlamps. You're going to receive the same structure grille as the XT6, so the chrome is going to be underneath the daytime running assembly that runs into the Buick badging with a gloss gray interior, and it's going to circle around it similar to the XT6. On the lower, with the gloss black that brushes in front parking sensors, 360-degree reverse camera because of the 1SP, which also adds heated front and rear seats in that package. 7.5 inches of clearance. That is going to be better than Infiniti QX60 and the Acura MDX. One of the major differences, though, is with the Acura MDX, you can get the Type S, which will give you over 330 horsepower. Here, we only get one engine option. It is a 3.6-liter V6 VVT, pumping out 310 horsepower, 266 pound-feet of torque. That is paired to a 9-speed automatic transmission, achieving 18 mpgs for the city and 26 mpgs for the highway. This is the same powertrain that's derived as the Cadillac XT6, upgraded 20-inch chrome wheels. Because this is the Avenir, you're getting a lot of chrome, and that's what you're going to expect. This is the luxury upon luxury for Buick. It's a multi-spoke setup. The disc reading behind it at 13.6 inches ventilated, the rear at 12.4 inches ventilated. The 1SP also gives you a technology package with hydraulic dampers and steering collaboration, including the premium ride suspension chassis, active noise cancellation. Similar to Lincoln, you get the passcode on the exterior to go inside your vehicle without having to use a key fob. This will be the longest in the segment at 204.8 inches. To give you an idea of how long this is, it's the same length, it's actually a little longer than the new refresh BMW X7. This is not going to be comparable to that. So against the Infiniti QX60, that's going to be underneath 200 inches. The same thing with the Acura MDX, and an Audi Q7 can be comparable to it if you option the base engine. Because they have so many more sport variants to that one, it kind of takes it out of class for this one. You only get 3-year, 36,000 miles, whereas the Cadillac, you would get the 4-year, 50,000 luxury warranty. So this is one of those sweet spots in the sense of bargain deals, because you're getting a lot of Cadillac components, as you're noticing through this review from the exterior, but most of the dynamics start changing a lot more so into the rear. It will look a lot different than the Cadillac XT6 here. LED tail lamps, same towing at 5,000 pounds, which is not going to be the best in class. That will go to the Infiniti QX60. The all-wheel drive gets 6,000 pounds from 22 and over. On the lower, you're going to receive the chrome and some areas that mimic exhaust. Because this is a naturally aspirated V6, I would have liked to see a dual exhaust setup, because when you go into the Acura MDX, they do a great job giving you that performance into the rear. Here they keep it very tasteful in the luxury side, but they take some of that luxury away, because now you can see the back windshield wiper. When you get into the Cadillac line, that's going to be tucked underneath the lower roof spoiler. The gloss black carries on into there. Power liftgate going into 23.6 cubic feet of storage. Underneath the floor, you have a storage bin. 12 volt. Interior lighting for the trunk is LED. The rear bench split folds in the back at a 60-40 split. Increasing cargo to 57.7 cubic feet. Fold down the captain seats to maximize cargo to 97.4 cubic feet. Naturally aspirated V6. We need to go inside, start it up, so you can hear that exhaust note. Going inside the Buick Enclave Avenir, which is the top of the line. This is basically a Cadillac mask in a Buick symbol. 41.2 inches of headroom, 41.2 inches of legroom, whisper beige leather upholstery for the first and second row, Avenir badging for the headliner in the driver's and passenger seat, heated, ventilated, 12-way power seat adjustment, and massage. The dashboard gets these soft materials up front and more towards the hood, more of your everyday materials with the heads-up display, digital rear view mirror, which you can just use either way as a frameless mirror, a sunroof for the front occupants, and the rest of the dash gets the wood inlays with the satin aluminum that's going to circle around both of the side air vents. And in the center, you get the 8-inch diagonal touchscreen with navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio, OnStar, put it into reverse, 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory, and you have multiple camera positions on each one that you choose. Working into dual climate control settings, a wireless charging pad, USB ports, SD card reader for the navigation, the wood inlays, push-pull to put it into gear, and the satin aluminum that wraps around. Open up, and we got the key fob for the Buick. It's going to be more of a sport mixture. Open up inside, and you got a storage tray that picks up into a deep storage pocket. Pass through for the front occupants with a 12-volt hidden right underneath to make it easy to run any radar detector or for any connectivity. Leather wrap steering wheel, heated, multi-function with adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, the paddle shifters and stocks, a digital reader in the center that can go through an array of information for the driver, the dashboard, and the door panels configure it together, and I like how this brushes in, but not all the way, giving all that everyday materials to start off with the wood inlay, satin aluminum going underneath it. It's going to be soft where it needs to be, one touch up and down only for the driver window. Bose upgraded sound system with a large storage pocket and to open the tailgate. For the second row, 38.9 inches of headroom, 38.3 inches of legroom. The seats do adjust, and they adjust normally, whereas GMC usually has multiple things on the side. You just adjust it here to move it forward, in which I won't have as much space, but you can fit occupants in the back. To be comfortable, I'll have to do this, but you can also recline it. Captain seats, this will basically adjust with you. When you're reclining, I would just throw it up. But when you're sitting upwards like this, if you can get the thing to work, there we go. Now you can just relax. Third climate control setting, home plug, USB, heated second row, storage behind both of the front seats, and the panel moonroof is designated just for the second row. Air vents in the ceiling, door panel gets the same treatment as the front, so you get the wood inlays with the badging and the chrome. It's going to be more soft where you rest your arms. Cup holder in the storage pocket. For the third row, headroom at 37.6 inches, legroom 33.5 inches. If it's all the way back, you see it's tight. If it's all the way forward, I have some space. I will be sharing feet space because of the way the rails are for the center occupants. In the back, we get cup holders, USB ports, air vents in the ceiling, no panel moonroof that comes into the third row. Sitting into the center, headroom is the same, no issues at all, nor is leg space. Feet, butt, and shoulder space will be shared because of the way the side panels bulge inwards, making it a little bit more tight for the third row. 310 horsepower, which makes this one of the better in class, comparing it to Acura and Infiniti when you're looking at the base trim for the Acura. Once you go up to the Type S, obviously you're getting over 330 horsepower, so that's going to have more. This is under 4,700 pounds, which the Infiniti QX60 will be the most heavy, but capabilities, you could do quite a bit with this, and it's very similar to the XT6. To give her a little go, you get the motivation. Dynamically speaking, it's going to be more boaty. It's not going to have that sport feel at all. And when you get the Avenir, you're really looking to capture all the luxury. So I feel Buick has put themselves in a good spot, considering they're not really going after German rivals. Now that's gonna take me to some things I like and dislike, and starting off with is what I like. This is basically a Cadillac XT6 with a savings of anywhere from 5, 10 to almost 15 grand. Yes, we hover into the $60,000 price point, but you're getting the same powertrain, more or less the same fascia, ground clearance, and the interior components. There's a lot of similarity, and yet this is a Buick. So if you're looking for a deal, you have it right here. The next thing that I like about it is every row has a sufficient amount of space. It's the same thing as the XT6 because it's the same design in the interior. What I don't like though is the way they do this moonroof. You have to push it, it's not a power option. When you go into Cadillac, they start touching these things up. Buick, you're gonna start getting some manual stuff. The same thing for your windows. You're only gonna get one up and down for the driver, that's auto. The rest of them, you have to push it up or hold the button. On the exterior, you get the keypad so you can get inside the vehicle. You don't receive that on the Cadillac. So you have some pluses and pros there. And it's going to be the same towing and payload capacity. What I dislike goes into the gauge cluster. You get a digital reader, but it's not fully reconfigurable, which that can be the case for the Infiniti and the Acura. They're all going digital, which I'm not a huge fan of it, but because of the times that we're in, you have to keep moving forward with the other auto industries in order so you do not go behind, you go forward. This is also 4G instead of 5G. There's not going to be a refresh in the next coming years because we just went through that about 2 years ago. So there might be some mild changes, but overall, this is the package that you get. The center cluster is a little bit less usable than some of the rivals, but even Infiniti now is starting to go to the same tray with the pass-through to give you the storage in between the occupants. For the second row, I like that you have the bottle or beverage holder on top, so you don't have to bend over. You can just recline and enjoy the captain's seats. The exterior, it adds a lot more chrome than the Cadillac line, especially if you go into the sport trim of the XT6, because then you're going to get the gloss black elements that surround everything. You get the upgraded Brembo brakes in the front. Buick will incorporate more of the GMC for the way the whole feel of the car is. Turn radius, it's actually pretty tight for a vehicle this long, 2 lanes. So that is something that makes it a little bit easier for maneuverability purposes, even though it's a bit of a wobbly car if you're trying to go in and out of lanes. The suspension is smooth. You won't feel too much of the imperfections in the ride, even with these upgraded wheels, because it soaks it up relatively well, and the seats are comfortable. They don't necessarily contour you as well as I would say the Infiniti QX60, because the newer ones have a little bit more of a lip to it, and the same thing with the Acura. The Acura will be able to really contour your body the most in the sense of seat adjustments. This one's going to be more of a flat surface, so if you're taking turns, you can kind of slide around, whereas the other two will kind of hold you in position. Everyday vehicle, it definitely ticks the box. Bang for your buck. I mean, any vehicle nowadays are starting to hover into the $60,000 price point, especially when you're getting the top trim and all the features. If you were to go into Infiniti, this would cost you around $68,000 to $70,000. So you're saving at least $8,000 there. If you go into Acura, if you option the Type S, that goes into $80,000 topped out. If you option just the regular without the Type S package, where you would get the aesthetics, you get the upgraded engine, and you get a lot of upgrades in the interior, you're still going to hover near a $70,000 price point. It's definitely a great alternative to the Cadillac XT6, because even with that, you're going to be getting savings in the Buick line. I'd like to thank Buick Lakeland for giving us this 2023 Buick Enclave Avenir for our car review. If you're already a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Hawkeye community. If not, I don't know what you're waiting for. Click the next video and the subscribe button. Check out the merchandise website, Instagram, leave a comment and a like.